Hello, everyone. It's Jacob here again. This week, we'll be discussing pattern recognition and recognizing restaurant trends. So let's get started. In this section, we'll be discussing the restaurants that have an upward trajectory. So here are the QSR statistics, which is quick serve restaurants. And as we look at this chart, it shows us the brand value of the 10 most valuable fast food restaurants. And I'll be highlighting 5 of these in the next slides. Number 1 is McDonald's. McDonald's has an upward trajectory based on its projections for 2018. 2017, McDonald's reached its target franchising 4,000 restaurants, more than a year ahead of the schedule, in the locations of China and Hong Kong, and has a new CEO, Steve Easterbrook, who took the position in 2015, and since then has made some very valuable changes in McDonald's, especially with innovations like order and pay in more than 20,000 of its restaurants worldwide. As we see here, McDonald's, to kick off the dollar menu this week, or the week last week, which is priming for growth in 2018. Next, here we have Starbucks. Starbucks is setting a lot of trends in its technology sector. Technology is the reason why Starbucks remains at the top of the QSR list. Seeing 11% of its sales from mobile order and pay, and with 14.2 million Starbucks Rewards members, which is accounting for 37% of the sales on the US side. In 2018, Asia Pacific region will drive over half of Starbucks global store growth for 1,100, with 600 in China alone. That's pretty big, especially in the Asia Pacific area, where a lot of they have their own local coffee brands. In Q4 alone, China and the Asia Pacific region led growth, with revenues hitting 860 million, which is up 14%, which happened right after CFO Scott Mao gave his presentation. Another reason why Starbucks is thriving is they have given a new meaning to the term employee, which is now being called partners, as they receive perks such as medical benefits, profit sharing, tuition assistance, in an effort to decrease the turnover and bring a more family feel to the network environment. Sorry about the typo. Another one is Subway. Subway has recently made some changes in its technology sector. In US sales drop 1.7% last year to 11.3 billion, and because of that, they had to close about 500 stores, and they are now bringing back the $5 footlong deal, which was one of their huge sellers before 2016. Um, and for some reason they decided to do away with it in 2016, and they're bringing it back, which is a kickoff to bringing their sales back up. With the fall of Papa John's, Pizza Hut has taken its place with all of the controversy surrounding Papa John's and some remarks he made. The NFL has decided to part ways with them. So, starting with the 2018 NFL Draft, Pizza Hut kicked off their partnership with the NFL, and Pizza Hut is right there in the middle of the social media sector, as we speak about how social media is impacting the growth and sales of restaurants. Pizza Hut is using Facebook and other social media outlets as a way to drive sales through finesse customer targeting. And here is a quick chart of um, the customer satisfaction scores for Pizza Hut. As we see, there was a huge rise in around 2014 and has since been dropping, but that is expected to rise at a very quick rate in 2018 as they kick off their partnership with the NFL. Another one at the top of the list is Taco Bell. Taco Bell is doing some very great and innovative things um, to drive customer experience, as they partnered with Lyft, uh, called Taco Mode partnership, which allows Lyft customers to tack on a ride through at Taco Bell on the way to their destination of choice through Lyft app, and it's supposed to be at no extra cost. Taco Bell has been busy, from unveiling self-serve kiosks to releasing nacho fries to bolstering its leadership team, most notably hiring Julie Feliciano as brand president in just the past 2 months. Taco Bell is scheduled to grow its global presence to about 9,000 over the next 5 years, which will open doors for 100,000 new restaurants in the U.S. alone. So Taco Bell is making a lot of great changes and being very innovative in its efforts. Now the restaurants that are trending downward. Sonic. Sonic has fallen behind on its technology, has been pretty stagnant in the past couple of years. Same store sales for company operated operations has dropped 8.9%, and as a result, franchise comps fell 7.3% for the last fiscal year. Overall revenue declined by a whopping 25% to 100.2 million, and the net income was essentially came out at a flat of 11 million. But they're doing something to turn this around, and starting in New York, where they're creating an order ahead app for smartphones for New York-based um, mobile food trucks. As we see here, there was a pretty in 2015 and 2016, it was pretty even across the board, and they came out, it was pretty stayed the same. And here we see that 25% drop to 477 million total. in 2017. Chipotle is another one, as has been hit with some food health issues. A lot of customers they lost the trust of a lot of customers with the E. coli breakout, and causing a lot of customers to experience some sickness after eating at a restaurant in the northwest part of the country. Um, Chipotle seems to be overbuilding as well, and has since then has only 976 restaurants at the end of its first quarter. Domino's has fallen behind the competition with Pizza Hut, especially as Pizza Hut has taken the partnership with the NFL. But one thing that I've heard that I might not have added in here is that Domino's has also added a beer, um, delivering beer along with their pizza as an option. So that's one of the things that we hadn't seen with any of the current pizza food chains. And as we see here, these are the current uh, market value for Domino's. Applebee's is decreasing as well. Um, a lot of the contributions are to the bad debt that has been occurred to keep the operation running. In Q4 2017, Applebee's same-store sales dropped 5.3% year over year. As Applebee's struggled to win over millennial diners, they closed a total of 88 stores in 2016 and 2017. As we see here, we see their sales are steadily declining from a record high in 2015, and they just haven't seemed to get back up to that number. Also, here Cheesecake Factory, if they fail to include millennials and families as their outreach, and a lot of their issues stems from locations, as they are in malls and the suburbs. Stocks went down 29.5% in 2017 as a result. And here are the numbers for the Cheesecake Factory. It was down from $2.28 billion revenue to 2.26 in 2017. Trends by segment. Upward trends. The reason for these trends are pretty apparent, that the restaurants that have an upward trajectory, they are expanding their chains outside of the U.S., and there has also been recent changes in upward management, mostly new CEOs. They also were showing efforts to include technological interactions in their purchasing experience. Some of the common things that happened in the restaurants that had downward spirals was that they failed to, in their efforts to draw millennials and family-friendly environments. They also failed in the technology advancement sectors, as well as reviving their old menus, as we see something that McDonald's did in one of the earlier slides. They brought back the dollar menu, some of the things to the dollar menu, as well as Subway bringing back their $5 foot-long deal. Some are also failing because of the underperforming stores, and as a result, they're having to close a large number of stores, whether that be nationwide or globally, with no plans to counteract. Moving segments. The QSR segment is moving and gaining more traction as people are looking for a relatable place to dine or just sit and enjoy a cup of coffee. As we see, Starbucks has mastered that art. Enhancing the customer experience has emerged as a top priority for an increasing number of quick serve restaurants. The goal is to create a destination for customers, a place where you feel at home and understood, a place that is a regular destination where getting what you want is quick and easy, and where you continually discover something new that you enjoy and are willing to spend money on. And here we see QSR at the highest growth segment. Deciding success factor. So the factor in deciding this this is the factor seems to be the ability and willing to innovate. Adding technology and customer-driven initiatives is what puts certain food chains over others, along with menu changes that reflects customer surveys. With minimum wage and operational costs rising, a growing number of chains have turned to digital and automated ordering platforms. Think tabletop devices, iPad ordering, digital kiosks, and various online ordering systems to replace employee labor and increase sales volume. Very important. Recommendation. My recommendation is a vendor that is moving downward. This is due to the opportunities to separate from the other vendors that may not have the same ideas. And the best place after doing a little research will be Frisco, Texas. Frisco is a very fast growing city in America. Population increase of nearly 10% over 3 years. Toyota, the Dallas Cowboys, and a host of other companies have moved their headquarters to Frisco and surrounding areas. This provides an opportunity to take on a new look that complements the modern architecture of this new and growing city. Financial projections. Frisco is one of the more expensive and growing areas in Texas. To build and upgrade a downward vendor will cost between 800 and 1.3 million. 800,000, sorry, and 1.3 million. For example, we take Sonic. The franchise fee for a single unit is 45,000 with a total estimate Sonic franchise cost ranging 865,000 to 3.6 million, excluding the land. So the net worth of a partner can be used towards the total network liquidity requirements. The term of a traditional Sonic franchise is 20 plus 10-year renewal. And for some quick stats here, as we saw earlier, the revenue of Sonic is down about 25%, and with that being, Frisco, Texas would be a great place for something for Sonic, as it can draw new customers and take on a new appearance as it complements the surrounding areas. Weather concerns, mainly Texas as a whole is very dry, known for its dry heat in the summer, very light winters. But one thing is the common hailstorms that pop up through the rainy seasons between about April and June. The following link you can click on shows the weather, temps, and precipitations in Frisco, Texas for throughout the year. Geographical impact. No geographical impact to report for Frisco. sanitation issues. With the new city, they're heavy on sanitation and um, and pride themselves in having a very nice community and city. So as a result, there's 24-hour sanitation service that can be very useful in considering Frisco, Texas for a new